Hello, we are from Kurzbück APS and we will now talk about our vision and mission and our new wall solution that will meet a new voluntary sustainability class and how we have achieved this gold certificate. And our mission is to run a satisfying financially and a sustainable business. The company must be able to deliver good quality and at the same time help to reduce the world's CO2 footprint. And we are also very committed to use technological and digital tools to minimize the waste and the energy consumption. Our vision in the future is to create a good and sustainable company that only uses sustainable materials. We want to establish a company that can provide competition to the others in the market, and we want to be the first in the market with our business idea, and we believe we can be revolutionary in this field.
In this project, we focus on the external wall. Inside the external wall, there is 21 by 95 mm recycled burnt wood siding, 25 by 45 pressure treated wood, 5 mm wind barrier, 295 mm insulation, 45 by 295 mm timber bands, 2 mm vapor-proof membrane, 45 by 45 mm installation layer, 2 by 12 mm gypsum plasterboards.
So we have calculated and compared CO2 emissions for wood construction and a traditional brick wall construction. And all the numbers and data are collected from producers' EPD data sheets, which can be seen on the right. And wood and tree materials absorbs carbon dioxide, which is why they have a negative value. And we get a negative total value of CO2 emission for our wood construction, while the traditional brick wall gets a positive value, which will have a poor effect on the overall CO2 emission for the entire house and life cycles analysis.
There is released too much CO2. It makes the global too hot, resulting in global climate change. One solution to this is constructions in CO2 storage. All plants absorb CO2. 1 kilogram of wood contains about 1 kilogram of CO2. The more tons of plant-based building materials, such as wood and straw, we can store in construction, the more tons of CO2 we save. When you burn wood, all the stored CO2 in the wood is lost, which is sent directly into the atmosphere. And the CO2 calculation goes back to zero. If you instead reuse the wood as a building material, so you avoid felling new trees, then the CO2 calculation goes up. Therefore, it can really make a difference if you focus on plant-based building material as well as recycling in construction industry. We would save about 30 kilograms CO2 per square meter. For every square meter they sell, a tree is planted through the Growing Tree Network Foundation, making burnt wood reuse a plus building material. Burnt wood doesn't have dangerous chemicals, which is why it has a CE badge. Burnt wood inform their product has a lifespan up to 80 years. To avoid moisture and fire, the overlay of siding must be 25 mm, as you can see. The fire class of the sidings must be to climbing.
In these elements of the voluntary sustainability class, we can see that we get a gold score of 60%. We get the high score because of a new burnt wood external wall and because we use a lot of wood in the rest of our house construction. We have taken some of the bigger house building companies in Denmark and checked out their price for a traditional house built in Jutland. The prices are between 10,000 and 40,000 Danish crowns per square meter for a house between 150 to 200 square meters. If we compare Kurts Byg to the rest of the companies, we can see that Kurts Byg is a bit more expensive than the rest. But at Kurts Byg, we are completely fine with that because we go for a bit more expensive, exclusive and sustainable houses. If we take a look at this graph, we can see that the other companies are focusing more on selling more houses to the lowest price.
Here you can see our economic forecast. You can see how our turnover increases year by year. Down below, you can see the number of houses we build year by year. See how over the years that we have a higher turnover than the traditional building.